Hi guys, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to another video. So in this one I want to share with you guys why failure is the key to success.
'Cause anywhere with you feels right. Anywhere with you feels like Paris in the rain. Paris in the rain. When I'm with you, when I'm with you, Paris in the rain. Paris in the rain.
So I wanted to share with you guys really my journey and why I feel like failure was really the key to my success and where I am currently in my life. And I've done a video in the past already about what success really to me is as a nurse, so make sure to check out the video in the cards above. But really what brought me here is actually due to the fact that I failed, and I failed a lot. So I think for some people that may be a surprise, just because me putting myself out there on social media, no one ever really wants to talk about the bad things. And to me, I want to be straight up honest with you guys and share with you guys the journey on how I got to this point in my life, and that what really brought me here, like I said, is through failures. Actually, when I first started out as a new grad nurse and doing my job hunting, it actually took me a very long time, and I didn't land my first job until 6 months after graduation. So for some people, in my cohort, they were already getting jobs right out of nursing school. They already had jobs pending for them, all these things. And I was actually struggling a lot just because I was getting interviews but getting rejected left and right because I did not have enough experience. And so to me, I kept discouraging myself just because I felt like all the stuff that I did in nursing school was for nothing, putting myself through all those extracurriculars, all the stress, the emotional trauma of nursing school, and the fact that it didn't really help me, or at least that's what I thought. And I would beat myself up for all the time that I just wasn't good enough, that whatever I was doing is just not worthy, and that I wasn't ever going to land the job of my dreams, and that I was going to have to just settle out somewhere and just do something for the sake of it. So I thought that was going to be my reality, but I knew deep down in my heart that I wanted something and I was going to chase after it, and for me that was NICU. And I knew that I would only be happy if I went and chased my dreams. So I pushed for it, whether that meant I had to wait longer than some of my classmates who were getting jobs back home in the Bay Area. And if that meant that I had to go somewhere far, then I was going to do whatever it takes. So I did apply for jobs outside of California. I applied all around California, whether that meant I have to move away from home, all those things. And for me, what the most stressful part about the job hunting is, yes, getting the interviews and all that, but also getting letters of rejection. And I was the type of person that obviously no one ever wants to experience rejection. But for me, it was really something that I would beat myself up a lot for, but just because I never experienced what it was like to be rejected from something my entire life. And so getting people telling me that, sorry, you're not getting the position, or we cannot offer you the position, things like that, it really discouraged me a lot. And it made me want to give up. Definitely felt like everything that I did was really for nothing, and that I don't think I was ever going to be good enough for something. And even no matter how much I would tell myself that it was all going to work out in the end and things like that, it's hard when you have other external pressures trying to tell you to do this and do that, and people in your family out of love would start asking you about these things and you feel pressurized. But just remember this, that your timeline should not be comparable to other people, and no one is going through what you're going through. So people's words can be hurtful, or people telling you to do this and that or whatever, they're not going through what you're going through. Remember that you need to be your strongest and biggest advocate, and it is also very nice to have people in your life that love and support you, and that makes it a lot easier. But it doesn't matter how much support you have in your life if you cannot support yourself and be that emotional support for yourself. So for me, I felt like no matter how much love and support I had with other people in my life, like my parents, my family, my friends, it was still something that I needed to push myself through, that I needed to get through this and push myself through it. So I would tell myself and do daily words of affirmation and positive reinforcement to myself that this is something that is what I wanted to do. Nursing is what I want to do. NICU is what I want to do. And I would push myself through. I can do this. And even if that means I have to take a while, that's not the point. Timeline should never be the point. how long it takes should never be the point. It should be you going and chasing after what you want and what you dream about. So for me, I kept pushing through, and in the end, it worked out. And I ended up moving away from home, 3 hours from home to be exact, and where I got my first ever new grad job in the NICU. And I learned so much, and I met such amazing people. And it was truly one of the best experiences that I've ever had. Nothing can ever trade whether or not I got a job from home or anything like that. Like, sure, that would have been amazing. I wouldn't have to move and leave my family and all that. But this experience was so worth it to me that it was something that I feel has given me the foundation and what makes me truly love my job. And who knows what my life would have been like if I didn't end up going there. But all I know is that I went, and it ended up being the best experience ever. And it's what's made me come to this point in my life of loving NICU, wanting to teach and educate other people. It gave me the foundation and the knowledge that I needed to help teach and educate others about NICU. And it made me want to pursue it even further by writing a book about it. So that's how much I truly love my job, and how much that environment that I experienced starting out as a new grad is what made me love NICU a lot. So I feel like no matter where Polly would have ended up, that all I can say is that experience that I had really shaped who I am now, and really gave me the foundation of all the NICU knowledge that I know. And that anywhere I end up now, that my foundation in NICU is so strong that I'm not afraid compared to when I started out as a new grad nurse. So those rejections and constant failures actually brought me to where I ended up needing to be, and it ended up being the best experience ever. But I wouldn't say that's probably my only source of failure. Other failures I've experienced, of course, in nursing school, I didn't pass all of my exams. I was not a straight A student. I did not actually pass my predictor on the first try, and I had to take it again. And it was just one of those things where I also discouraged myself, because I felt like maybe I'm not smart enough to be a nurse. Maybe I am not meant to be a nurse, just because I defined things in nursing school through grades. And I remember telling myself that if I didn't pass my classes or pass the course or whatever, that I wasn't going to be good enough to be a nurse, and that I'm probably going to go out into the real world and fail, because if I'm not smart enough to be one, then I'm not meant to be one. And if I could go back in time and tell myself those things, where grades does not define me, where no one views me at work through my grades, no one looks down on me because of my grades, or any of those concerns that I had back in nursing school. I wish I had someone to tell me that. And so I actually did a video on that, so make sure to check out that video above. But that was one of the stresses that I had in nursing school that I felt like defined me, and having straight A's or passing my classes is what defined success for me back then. But honestly, I'm also glad that I didn't view nursing school as just a place to just focus on grades. I used that opportunity, experience to learn new things, volunteer, work with other people, go outreach through my community. And through those experiences is what defines and shapes who I am as a nurse, and what defines and shapes me now in order to provide back to my community and work in all my workplaces, because it gave me the human connection that really what nursing is all about, and that nursing isn't defined by your grades, and no one at work allows you to do a certain job because they look at your transcripts or things like that. Like, no one focuses on those things. They focus on how you're able to critically think, interact with other people, your professionalism, things like that. That is what they're more focused on. And so the failures that I experienced in nursing school, as well as me as a new grad and going through the experiences of rejection from jobs and multiple interviews and things like that, it became a defining moment for me also to remember that things do happen for a reason, and that whatever happens is that you're meant there for a reason. So if something does not work out for you in the first place and you end up somewhere else, and finding your way later on, as long as you remember to remind yourself that you're doing this for yourself, and as much as it is of helping other people and giving back to others, that it needs to be self-motivated. It needs to be something that you want to pursue and do for yourself, not for your family, not for your parents, not for what society says that you should do. It should be something that you feel in your heart that this is something you want to pursue, because in the end of the day, you're doing the job. You're the one that's going to be working. So if you're doing something that you hate, or you're miserable, or you're only doing it to fulfill someone else's wishes, that it's not going to make you happy. So really go into this career knowing that that is going to be the reality, or any career that you pursue, is that it should be something that you want to do and that you are passionate about. And for me, I knew NICU is something that I'm passionate about, whether that meant I had to go out there far and wide to reach for it, that's something that I wanted. So now I can definitely say that as much as this is a cliche, that I feel like I'm living my life to the fullest and that I'm living the life that I've dreamed of. For me, working was something that I wanted to do, but it wasn't just that. It wasn't just working in my dream job or my dream unit and making a lot of money. It wasn't just that. It was also being able to have flexibility with my life, to be able to enjoy life with my friends and my family, to be able to travel the world and learn new things every day, and to also find something that I am extremely passionate about, that I feel fulfilled. And I can't picture myself in any other place now, just because I'm in a unit where I'm extremely happy. People are so kind of supportive of me. I feel like I'm learning a lot and growing a lot. And I have pursued something outside of work that still relates to my interest, just because that's how much I love doing this. I love being able to educate other people about nursing and NICU. And I'm so glad that you guys are following me along this journey. And just know that failure, rejections is really the path to success, and that no one is ever going to have the perfect way of doing things, and that if things are handed to you on a silver plate, then great, good for you. But not everyone lives life in that kind of way, and not everyone is lucky enough. And so it's really all about persistence and pushing yourself and pushing yourself to do the work, because that's really what it's going to take. So just remember that there are other ways to define success, and that you don't have to compare yourself to other people to know what success is like. And just know there are people out there that did not get things easily and that they have failed. And I am one of those people. And here I am now, knowing that whatever I pursued and whatever I did was through my hard work and through my efforts, and that I'm glad to be where I am now because of me pushing through it. And I know you definitely could do that for yourself. So I'm rooting for you guys. Good luck to you all. And just remember that you are not alone. Hopefully this video eased a lot of you guys, and please let me know down in the comments below if you have any other questions or anything like that, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
'Cause anywhere you